Good morning. Welcome to Mantra 108, where we're working our way through 21 days of our relationship mantra. And we are on, let's see, today is day number, Monday, Tuesday, day number 13. I have a little chart for myself so I don't forget what day we're on. So we're on day number 13 of our 21-day practice. And so this is a practice of transcendence for good morning Andrew and good morning Sylvie. This is a practice of transcendence for our difficult relationships. This mantra addresses those at a level that precedes and transcends any embodiment. So it is, good morning Bianca. So it is absent then of ego. It is absent of all of the problematic things that we get into in this embodiment. When we chant this mantra, because it takes us beyond. Good morning, Pierce, and good morning, Holly. So it takes us beyond this embodiment. It takes us beyond our mind chatter. It takes us beyond our ego. And we transcend, we heal, we gain new perspective at a far deeper level than we could within this physical realm that we live in. So I'm going to talk to you about another one of our yamas today. We've been working our way through yamas and niyamas in no particular order. First, we talked about ahimsa, doing no harm, non-violence. Then we talked about asteya, non-stealing. And then we talked about svadhyaya, this idea of self-study. And the last couple of days we've been talking about tapas, our self-discipline. And then today we're going to circle back to the second yama, which is satya, this idea of deep truthfulness. So I'm going to read just a little bit, and then Pierce asked me to talk about usage of our mala beads. So I'll talk about that too, and then we'll get started in our practice. So relative to satya, satya means truth in Sanskrit. So this yama teaches us about truthfulness, how to be truthful with ourselves and with others. So Deborah says, if we don't approach truth with our knees knocking, we haven't really understood the profoundness of this particular guideline. We may think that truth means simply not fibbing to our mom about stealing that last cookie, but truth demands integrity to life and to our own self that is more than not telling a simple lie. When we are real rather than nice, when we choose self-expression over self-indulgence, when we choose growth over the need to belong, and when we choose fluidity over rigidity, we begin to understand the deeper dynamics of truthfulness, and we begin to taste the freedom and the goodness of this guideline of truthfulness. Real comes from the center of our unique essence and speaks to the moment from that center. Real has a boldness to it. It has an essence, a spontaneity. Real asks us to live from a place where there is nothing to defend and nothing to manage. It is a contact with the moment that is not superimposed or prepackaged. Real is something we might not always like in another, but we come to know that there will be no surprises. Real, though not always pleasant, is trustworthy. So, question to ask ourselves: what is driving you to distort yourself, or silence yourself, or say yes when you mean no? Or as Carl Jung would ask us, what is so dangerous in the moment about the truth that you are choosing to lie? So all of these things are important to think about when we're thinking about relationship, when we're thinking about being in relationship with another or a group of people. These are all important because if we're not coming from a place of satya, a place of truthfulness in ourselves, how can we bring that truthfulness, the true essence of who we are, how can we bring that to a relationship? And if we're not bringing that to a relationship, if, as Deborah says, we're being nice instead of being real, then we're robbing ourselves. We're getting into asteya, or actually we're getting into the idea of asteya, because asteya is non-stealing. So if we're not bringing our authentic self, our true self, if we're not grounded in this idea of satya in ourselves and bringing that to our relationship, then we're stealing from ourselves. So it goes back to that idea of non-stealing too. That's one of the things I love so much about studying the yamas and niyamas and practicing the yamas and niyamas, is that they're so interwoven. One affects the other, and then the other affects that one. And so it's important that we look at this as a multidisciplinary practice when we're trying to live within these ethical principles of yoga. And so I remind us over and over that yoga is so much more than asana, yogasana. Yogasana is our physical practice. All of these ethical practices, the yamas and niyamas, are yoga as well. This Sanskrit mantra practice that we're practicing is yoga as well, because yoga is helping us to be in union with our true self, which is divine consciousness. So all of the things that we do in devoted practice to connect with and realize that divine consciousness that we are, all of that is yoga. So we'll talk for a few more days about satya, but I'm going to move on now because Pierce asked a question about using malas, the mala beads. So malas are 108 beads that are attached to what we call the guru bead, the bigger bead. And so the best way, the way that that we're taught in spiritual practices to use a mala is to drape it over your third finger, to not touch it with your second finger, and to advance the beads with your thumb. I'm trying to show you here, but it's a little awkward. There we go. To advance the beads with your thumb. So you can pull the beads toward you. That's what I like to do. You could also push the beads away from you. Let's see, we'll do it like that. Push the beads away from you. That's a little more awkward for me, so I like pulling them toward me. But what one of my teachers taught me is that when we're starting out with our mantra practice, we really want to sink into the mantra and not be quite so worried. Good morning, Corinne. We want to be not quite so worried about how we're manipulating our beads. And so if it feels awkward at first to just use that thumb, by all means, do it in whatever way you can. When I started out, I'll put the beads up here so you can see. When I started out, I would pull the beads with these two fingers, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and it would be in my lap as I would be doing this. And that was because if I tried to do this before I was used to doing this, my fingers would get flustered and I might skip a bead or grab two beads instead of one, and then I wasn't really doing my 108, and it would fluster me a little bit. So don't get flustered with your beads. Use them in any way that's comfortable for you. The one thing I would say is that keep the mala that you're using for your sadhana, your spiritual practice, keep that in a sacred place. Maybe put it in a nice little bag or wrap it in a silk cloth. Put it on your altar if you have an altar at home, and bring it out just for your practice, just for your spiritual practice. I have a lot of mala beads that are beautiful that I've brought back from India, that are all kinds of different stones and different seeds, and they're really lovely, and I like to wear them when I'm wearing my kurtas, my long Indian blouses. I like to wear them when I'm dressing myself up for a 𝐀𝐮 or going somewhere special. I like to adorn my physical presence with these malas, but I don't use those malas for my spiritual practice. I use special malas for my spiritual practice. This particular mantra I love. I think maybe they're bodhi seeds, maybe they're rudrakshas. This was given to me as a gift from my dear friend 𝐻𝐿. She brought them from Nepal. She had, long story, but she had to make a quick trip from northern India through Nepal and then back to see me in southern India, where we're doing panchakarma together. And so she brought these while she was staying in Nepal for a couple of days. She brought me these beautiful beads and a beautiful t-shirt from Nepal. So so when I'm chanting with these beads, I always have her presence with me and a little bit of Nepal with me, so that's kind of special. So anyway, this is one of my special malas. So that's Mala 101 for you. If you have any questions, people have been asking me some back questions, either on this thread or in personal messages through Messenger. So if you have any questions for me about our practice, please ask them, and I'll try to address them here. I know that usually what happens either in a classroom or in a practice like this is a question that one person has is often a question that many people have. So you're usually asking for the group. So don't be hesitant to ask any questions that come to mind about our practice, about the yamas and niyamas that we're talking about, about malas, about our timing. Someone asked me about the applications for the tempura, and I put that in yesterday's feed. So if you have questions, you can look there too. And always remember that if you miss this, if you have to miss this live morning practice for any reason, I always post pretty directly to the Mantra 108 group that you're all a part of, or many of you are a part of. If you're not, go ahead and join, because all of our practices are archived there. All of our practices I also archive on my YouTube channel, and that's just Kathy Bolta on YouTube. So you can find the archived practices there as well. And so if you miss anything, you can catch up there. All right, let's get started. Close your Let your muscles soften. Bring that sense of soft presence to your heart. And we'll take a nice full inhale to begin. Auṁ Śrīm Mitrāya Namaḥ. 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 Auṁ Śrīm Mitrāya Śrīm Mitraya Namaḥ. Auṁ 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 Śrīm Mitrāya 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 Namaḥ. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That brings us to the end of our practice today. Thank you for being with me as always, and I will see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, right here. We'll talk a little bit more about satya, this idea of truthfulness in our relationships. and chant our mantra. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. And I will see you tomorrow morning.